What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to this channel and you would like to support the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell so you're notified every time I come out with brand new content. And please, leave me a comment. I'll definitely respond to you guys. And one last thing, please like this video. The last few videos, you guys have been really killing it, getting all my videos over 100 likes. But we haven't reached our goal of at least 200 likes, everybody. So please, like this video so we can get at least to 200 likes. Well, Raider Nation, the NFL Combine is slowly approaching. That means free agency is right around the corner, and there's plenty of names already being circulated and attached to the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to go over some names you guys definitely should keep an eye on, and I think that would make a great fit for our Raiders. First and foremost, we're going to go with the trenches. We need a defensive tackle. We have a great pass rush with Max Crosby, with Malcolm Kuntz, and even Tyree Wilson is starting to come along. But you can never have enough firepower when it comes to rushing the quarterback. And this free agent class is loaded with talent when it comes to the pass rushers. Chris Jones, Christian Wilkins, Brian Burns. Those are all guys I would love for the Raiders to get. But my first and foremost, most important name that I would love for the Raiders to get is none other than defensive tackle Chris Jones. Now, Chris Jones just got a big payday from the Kansas City Chiefs, making him one of the highest defensive tackles to be paid. Now, at the championship parade, he was already saying that he was going to run it back, but quite frankly, the Chiefs might not have enough money to pay him. Why? Because L'Jarius Sneed is also due for a big contract. He is also going to be a free agent this offseason. And I can't see the Kansas City Chiefs signing both of those guys. Personally, I think you got to build from the front to the back. You got to start in the trenches. And with that being said, pass rushers are hard to come by. You can draft a good corner in the second and the third rounds, and you could develop him, and he could end up being a great defensive back. And that's something that the Chiefs are really known for. And that's why I have a sense that if the Chiefs are going to sign one of those guys, I would think that they're going to keep Chris Jones and they're going to let L'Jarius Sneed walk. They have a great defensive backroom as it is already. So I think they could afford losing L'Jarius Sneed, and their defense isn't going to miss a beat. Like I said, I expect Chris Jones to sign back with the Kansas City Chiefs, but if somehow he does not re-sign with them, the Raiders absolutely have to go after this guy. They absolutely have to throw the bag at him. You can never have enough pass rushers in this game. And something that the Raiders have lacked is an interior pass rush. Yes, we've had the Khalil Macks, the Max Crosbys, the Derek Burgess of the world. Even a Bruce Irvin did his thing for a few seasons with us. But we have lacked the interior pass rush since the last time we went to the Super Bowl. I mean, quite frankly, at the top of my head, two names that come to my mind are Tommy Kelly and Richard Seymour. Other than that, the Raiders haven't had an interior pass rusher. So the biggest name, like I was saying, is Chris Jones. Now, another guy to keep a lookout is Christian Wilkins. He is a great defensive tackle as well. You know, last year he finished the season with 9 sacks. Not too many defensive tackles finished the season with that many sacks. So that would be another great addition to this Raiders team. In order to take down Patrick Mahomes, in order to take down these top teams with the great quarterbacks, you need a great pass rush, and you can never have enough pass rushers. I'm saying we have to go after Christian Wilkins. If Chris Jones is taken off the board, then we have to go after Christian Wilkins. Another defensive tackle that I wouldn't mind the Raiders getting is Justin Madubuike. Now, I might not be able to pronounce his name, but he's the defensive tackle from the Baltimore Ravens. Now, he's expected to get a ginormous payday. Last season, he finished off the season with 13 sacks. Once again, that's not really heard of. You know, that's approaching Aaron Donald territory. Like I said, you can never have enough pass rushers. And that brings me to my next guy, Brian Burns, the outside linebacker from the Carolina Panthers. Another big name pass rusher that I would love to have on this Raiders defense. And as you guys can see, I'm leaning toward the front seven in this free agency. I believe that the Raiders could draft the weapons in the draft. When it comes to the draft, I really want the Raiders to focus at the quarterback position like I've been preaching all offseason. I want the Raiders to move up. And I want us to really to do our homework in the offseason, in free agency, in the interior. I want us to get a defensive tackle or another pass rusher. Like I said, imagine having Brian Burns and Max Crosby and then having Tyree Wilson and Malcolm Kuntz in the mix. That's a four-headed monster that Patrick Mahomes will be running for his life all game. And it's funny how you hear me keep on bringing up Patrick Mahomes' name. Why? Well, shoot, he's the top dog in the AFC right now. He just won back-to-back Super Bowls. He's the team we're fighting to beat. When we beat him on Christmas Day, it was because of our defense. It was because we were able to corral him. It was because we were able to get after him. Max Crosby was hurt towards the end of the season last year. Now imagine if we had more firepower where Max doesn't have to play 98% of the snaps. One of the reasons why he plays so many snaps is not because of his high motor and his high energy. It's because the Raiders don't have enough pass rushers. Thank God for Malcolm Kuntz. He dropped out of the sky this year because other than him, we haven't had a pass rusher other than Max Crosby. We signed Chandler Jones 2 off seasons ago to be that complimentary pass rusher with Max Crosby. And what happened? He went AWOL. We ended up having to cut him. And who knows where his mind is at right now. But like I said, we need another pass rusher, guys. And as far as, the offensive of tackles and guards, there's not that many great offensive linemen in this free agency class. Yes, I know there's Tyron Smith and there's a few guards out there, but I don't think there's enough to plug in and play. I don't think there's that big star power lineman on the offensive side this free agent class. I think in the free agent, we have to go after the defensive players, which brings me to my next player, Xavier Howard. I said that the Chiefs are most likely gonna keep Chris Jones. So the top 2 corners available this offseason is gonna be L'Jarius Sneed and Xavier Howard. Now Xavier Howard is on the wrong side of 30. He's already 30 years old and he's gonna turn 31 this season. Now he's up there in age, and that's probably why the Miami Dolphins decided to part ways with him this offseason. But I would love to have Xavier Howard. I know Jack Jones came out this weekend with a tweet saying, "Hey, Raider fans, I know you guys are in my DMs wanting to, be a free agent guru and bring these guys in, but we don't need any more guys. We got all the dogs on our squad." I wouldn't go with that. I think we need a real cornerback that we could put on an island on one side, take away their best receiver, and we'll be fine. We haven't had a cornerback to do that since we had Nnamdi Asomugha. Some of you are going to say Charles Woodson when he came back his second stint, but he played safety. He wasn't a corner anymore. And that is a position that we have lacked for so many years. For so many years, we haven't had great second corners. Nate Hobbs, Amik Robertson, Jack Jones. Those guys are good, but I don't believe they're that number 1 lockdown, shutdown corner. We don't have that guy that gets the 3, 4, 5 picks a year. We just don't. We haven't had that guy since Nnamdi Asomugha left. And that's why I believe if the Raiders really want to make a splash this year, I think we have to either go after Xavier Howard or L'Jarius Sneed. Those are my 2 top corners in this free agency class. And I was telling you guys, now that we have Antonio Pierce, now that he's out there with his chest, letting you guys know that the Raider way is back. He's a player's coach. Like he said, we're going to talk our shit and we're going to smoke our shit and we ain't going to apologize for who we are because we're the Raiders. And a lot of free agencies are seeing that. I can see a lot of these players wanting to come to Vegas and play for Antonio Pierce. Shoot, like I said, I'm ready to strap him up and go play for this man. And like I said, guys, I know we only have one quarterback on the roster right now in Aiden O'Connell. And I believe that the Raiders are going to have to add a veteran this offseason. Which brings me to my next guy. Right now, the top quarterback in free agency is Kirk Cousins, but I just don't see him leaving Minnesota. Right now, the Vikings are going to have to re-sign him. They're going to re-sign Justin Jefferson to a big contract, and who are they going to have to throw him the ball? Right now, they have Josh Dobbs. So you better damn near expect that the Vikings are going to re-sign Kirk Cousins, as well as the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield is another top name. I expect the Buccaneers also to re-sign Baker. Now, a dark horse quarterback that I could see the Raiders bringing in is Gardner Minshew. Right now, he's on the Colts and he's expected to be a free agent. He's gonna expect to get a payday. He didn't let his team sink. Anthony Richardson was the starter week 1 for the Colts, but he got hurt. He was out week 3, week 4, and in came Gardner Minshew, and he kept that team treading above water. He never let them sink, which makes me think he's going to be expecting a payday, which I would love to bring him in. I'm not saying give him guaranteed $20 million like we did at Jimmy Garoppolo. That's going to come down to be one of the worst contracts in history, but I would love Gardner Minshew. We need a veteran presence in that quarterback room, because as of right now, we just have Aiden O'Connell. And yes, I expect us to go after a quarterback in the draft. Whether we move up in the draft and trade and make a big splash and get a Jaden Daniels or even a Caleb Williams, I still expect us to bring a veteran in there. In the offseason, you need a veteran presence. You need a veteran to show the rookies the ropes, to show them how to be a professional football player. So, that does it for this video, Raider Nation. Let me know in the comments who you guys want the Raiders to target this offseason, and let me know any names that I might have missed out. Like I said, I believe the Raiders have to go defense this free agency. It's imperative that we add a defensive tackle. As of right now, we just have Bilal Nichols. We don't have too many big name defensive tackles. If we were to get Chris Jones or even Christian Wilkins, I think our defense would go through the roof. So that does it for this video, Raider Nation. Until next time, peace.